about that. I was just talking about oming and make sure that we really own from our heart and not be too concerned with, am I doing this right? What if I try this? What about? What, blah, 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 blah. It's always better to do it from your heart and listen to your own self doing it, and then you can improve. But if you start like wondering if you're doing it correctly or doing it right, you're missing the point. Because the more that you actually do it, you will get better at it. But we don't want to like thinking about how bad we are. Am I doing this right? Am I wrong? Is this awful? you know, because the more that you focus on that, if we focus on always criticizing ourselves, we become those criticisms, we embody them. So I'll tell you more about that. So for right now, let's just own with our hearts, knowing that it's going out and cleansing our areas. How wonderful is that? Om. 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 So the word we've been meditating on is character. And how is your character? Um, it's not a word we usually use, in just everyday conversation. Oh, that person has so much good character. We just don't really use this word very often anymore. It's kind of an old-fashioned word, but it's completely relevant because we don't see it right now in everybody. Doesn't mean that it isn't relevant. Excuse me. So, character, what is character? It has to do with sincerity, with actuality, with truth. So the actions that you're taking, they reflect our character because you can't have any action without your thoughts. So it goes back, everything always goes back to what's our habit of thought. So like as you hear me speak right now, I just want you to reflect on, like what kind of habits do you have of thinking out loud? And what I mean by thinking out loud is you're paying attention to your own thoughts while you're thinking and talking. What are you usually thinking and talking to yourself about? Is it about like how people see you? Wondering, did that person really like me? What were they thinking when they left me? Or maybe you just walked away from somebody and you're like, gosh, that person's like this. Why are they acting like that? Da 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 da. It's important to see what goes through our minds because we don't always ask ourselves, hey, what have I been thinking in this last hour? What kind of thoughts have I had while I'm at the grocery store today? What kind of thoughts do we have in our minds throughout the day? So when we practice our own character, being really, really open and truthful, it doesn't mean that it's not like a time when you try to do it. When you try to tell the truth, that's a very different thing than finding a way to peacefully tell the truth. Trying to tell the truth can make us want a reaction from the other person or something to come back to us in some particular way. Character is something that becomes very natural inside of us. There's no reason to try to be a good person. It's about the practicing of goodness. And when we tune into ourselves and we ask ourselves questions like, what have I been thinking about all morning? Boy, I've been sitting here at this table and, I've been looking at my phone, looking at my computer, getting a little bit of some work done. But yeah, I've been feeling a little crappy and feeling like the world's a little crappy. And maybe I have a certain relationship that feels a little crappy. Pardon my language. But, if you're just sitting there thinking that, I just want to remind you that it's affecting you. As you sit there thinking about how crappy everything is, that energy moves through your entire body. It moves through your mind, which is housed in your brain. So it affects your brain, which affects our habits of speech also. Even though you're not speaking out loud, you're just speaking to yourself, it affects your body. So the more we begin to think that everybody is, I don't know, ridiculously bad, it can make us feel victimized. It can make us feel like the world is too hard, too harsh for us. And when that happens, it can make us feel a little entitled, like it's okay for me to be bad. It's okay to say something bad because people are saying bad things to each other and to me and to themselves. I don't see anything bad happening with all that. No, that's not true at all. The more we think about thoughts, more the thoughts that we have that are degrading, whether the arrow of degradation is towards somebody else or whether the arrow of degradation is towards ourself, you and or others will suffer. And I'm saying this because I'm going to talk to you about practice in a moment. I'm just sort of setting the stage, so to speak, because what's happening in the world is everyday degradation, where we just degrade one another. Oh, they're just this, or oh, they're just that, on all day long. Instead of going, maybe they're having some problems, or maybe they just need some prayers, silent prayers being gifted to them as I drive by, or whatever it may be. But this thing about degrading one another and competing for who's the most famous or who's the most well known, the most this, the most that, life goes by very, very fast. Um, when you're 50 and older, I was trying to pick a number here. I have so many numbers to pick from now. Now that I'm older, I'm like, gosh, there's so many more numbers to pick from. Oh, dear, dear, dear. So anyway, 50 and older, you know, you you begin to see things differently. You because you have experience in life, you begin to realize that how much criticism that everybody lives in. And it doesn't matter what the culture is, what the country is, what race we are, how much money we have. It really doesn't matter. It's just become kind of who can be the most negative. I mean, you see people being proud to say very, very negative things out loud about one another. And I do mean proud. I've seen them and it's like, what? So excessive pride is not of good character. Pride is false. I'm not saying you shouldn't be proud of your good work, proud of your family. Please understand there's times when pride is a really wonderful thing. It's like, wow, I feel really good. I really feel proud of my family and all the work that we've done together. It feels really good. It's lovely. It's when we look at other people and we feel very, very proud about our status or our thoughts or the people that we associate with or again, how much money we have, or maybe even what religion that we are. You can see that is not of good character. So remember, the thing about religion is it's about God. And whether we have religion or we don't have religion, we always have this thing called God. It doesn't matter if you're an atheist and you don't like the word God, I'm at peace with all of that. The fact remains, it's miraculous that we have a life on this planet right now. It's just miraculous when you think about how big the universe is, and here we are. alive with physical density, living our life on this planet, we've forgotten how big the universe is. We've forgotten how big our solar system is, our galaxy. We don't think to look at the stars. You know what a hang up I have about that. Because seeing the stars at night gives you perspective. It gives us perspective. I don't mean it like, see how little you are, see how meaningless you are. No. See how amazing you are that you're alive and you get to look out from your planet out into space. That's miraculous. But when we learn in school about where we live on the planet, where the planet is in the universe, we just hear names. This is the name of our planet, and here's the names of the other planets. Here's some facts: how hot and how cold they are, how long it takes them to go around the sun. Here's a lot of facts. So if I'm telling you about a friend of mine, do I say they are exactly this tall, they weigh this much, and does that mean that you're going to get to know them by that? No. We identify through these facts, but you don't get to know the depth. We do live on a planet, and we do live here with billions of other humans and animals. And it is such an incredible blessing that we can't grasp it. If we could grasp it, thankfulness, gratitude would be the norm. We can grasp some of it so that we can learn to be at peace and learn that it's correct to help one another, because if we don't help one another, it affects all of us. Because when somebody sees somebody not helping somebody and they're really proud of it, I'm so proud that I'm not going to help those people. Well, are they really hurting? Well, yeah, but don't they deserve it? Where's the character in that? Character is inner strength. So I'm saying this, when I say these things, I don't say them to make you feel like you're bad or that I'm bad or bad anybody's bad. Mm-mm. I don't I don't find that appealing and fun to say how bad people are. I'm saying these things so that we can awaken and live better, more intelligently, taking care of who we are, our own character. This is what spirituality is all about. What is your character? What are you leaving this planet? Do you help your family? Do you help animals? Do you help your neighbors? Do you help yourself? Because maybe it's too hard for you to help your neighbors or to help families or to help things that are out of your sphere. Okay, that's the way your life is, right? So if that's the way your life is, you have you. And where is your character when you're helping you? Did you just call yourself bad names? Walk around thinking that nobody sees you? Because the more that we decide that we're less than and that nobody sees us, well, nobody will see us, because we start to actually pull away from people to be able to see us. You see, as we speak really hard and bad words to ourselves, we are in danger of becoming those bad and harmed words and actions, because our mind is thinking on them. And the more we're thinking on them and telling ourselves how bad we are, there comes a point where you really will have to become that, because that's your main line of thinking. And then you see other people and you see they're bad like me. How come bad things aren't happening to them? And then we kind of feel like other people should have bad things happening to us. And then they do. I'm not, I hope this is okay to say these things to you, because it's important that we realize that we do become our thoughts. Our thoughts make us who we are in the world. What else could we be? We see these billionaires and it's like, didn't look like they hardly worked but a few days and they became so wealthy. That's a continuation from other lifetimes and they're not being rewarded. And when they lose it, it's not that they're being punished either. It's how they're living in their minds. And they have focused so much on this particular aspect that it has grown and grown and grown and grown and grown and grown. It's not up to me. I don't think about are they good or are they bad. I just think, wow, that's a long time to think about that. What do you think about yourself? Because no matter what you create out in the world, it all comes from your own character, your true character. So our character is about how do we stand in love, right? How do you move through your day? What are your thoughts? Are they mostly gripes and complaining? If they are, pay attention and don't get on your case. When you notice, oh God, I am griping a lot, complaining a lot, criticizing a lot. Yeah, a lot. Really a lot. Last thing you need is more criticism of yourself. You see what I mean? At that point, you have to tell yourself, oh my gosh, maybe this is affecting my health. Maybe this is affecting how I think about myself, and how I think about myself affects what I'm more likely to do. So as we learn to be more balanced with our thinking about ourselves, because it's important that we say, oh yeah, you don't need to be doing that. You don't need to be talking like that anymore. When you see that, but you do it with love. Always speak to yourself with understanding. You're with you all the time. You're never going to get away from you. You can't like go someplace and leave yourself at home. Whoever you are, as they say, wherever you are, there you are. Wherever you go. Yeah, you got to watch me on these things. Wherever you go, there you are. So you are the most important person to you and to those that love you or those that dislike you. It's all about how do you speak to you? Because if you start to speak to you with more awareness and you go, oh gosh, I can see that I could have done that a little bit better with that lady that I was just talking to. Okay, I think I'm just going to remember that that happened and that I was impatient. I'm going to remember this moment. So the next time something similar like that, I'll have the time to let my patience move through. So you see what you're doing is you're teaching yourself to pay attention to. You don't have to say, you were so stupid or you were so bad. No, because at some point that's going to come out of you towards somebody else. You see how we become the way we think. This is a hard thing because we like to practice in like in the New Age and things like that. They're practicing about what they want in the future. You're not going to be bringing in great bounty of love if you don't acknowledge that the bounty is also within. You could bring in bounties of money, but does that mean that you're an enlightened person? No. If you don't have any money, does that mean you're an enlightened person? No, because enlightenment doesn't have anything to do with how many zeros are in your bank account. I do think it's ironic that a lot of zeros add up to something. Just saying. So, but anyway, we're talking about character. And character has to do with, do you clean your inner house? And do you do it with love? Do you coach yourself? Hey, 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 you have popcorn for breakfast yesterday. You can't have it again for today. That's not good for you. You know, that's better than, uh, I can have it. I can have it. Maybe I'll just do it over here. We don't need to be so mean to ourselves. Character, character is our essence, what you really mean. So we say certain words, but we don't always mean those words. And we know we don't mean them when we're saying them. So that is not character. You can't say anything that you didn't think. It's impossible. So when we make those big mistakes and here comes flying out of our mouths something that you're like, uh-oh, that only happened because those thoughts were very loud. And out they came. So we still meant it because we had been talking, using those words for quite some time. So it came flying out. So again, please do not be hard on yourself. Don't tell yourself, oh yeah, I heard what she said and I'm going to change because I'm so bad. No. No, 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 no. Thoughtlessness, when we don't, when we aren't thoughtful, then we're thoughtless. So full of thought, thoughtful, full of thought. That means that we're in a place where we feel our thoughts before we speak them. We feel them. Now this is something that you can do now and again, once in 5 years, feel your thoughts before you speak them. But to practice listening to yourself while you're present in a conversation, really listening to what you're saying, this is thoughtfulness. This will reduce those times when we're like, dang, I can't believe I said that. I'm sure that I'm not the only one who's thought that. Dang, I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. Because you see, again, it's in our thoughts so much, it has a path of its own, and out it comes. So it's already affected me. Now it goes out through me, it affects the other person, and then it's going to return back to me in the future. So you get that you get to experience it twice. It's very difficult to understand that karma and reincarnation have nothing to do with you being rewarded or you being punished. And how many times have you heard me say that? 2000? I don't know. I'm saying it again because it's so hard to understand. Because most of the way that we live our life, the way that we think, is about reward and punishment. Well, they said this, so now I'm going to say this. That's a punishment. Well, they said that. Well, now I'm going to reward them for that. Not everything is about reward and punishment. Sometimes people say things and they don't mean to hurt you, but it hurts you. Maybe they said something that they don't even know about your childhood, but they said something that touches you about your childhood. Doesn't mean that they're guilty of doing something bad, but what they said did hurt you. So what I'm saying is that these thoughts stay with us and they make us the persons that we are. The way that you think today is the way that you've been thinking for a very, very long time. And for us to be gathered here together, speaking about character, about love, and about self-improvement, you've been doing that for a very long time, longer than you got into this body. Is you want to feel good. I want to feel good. This is why we're attracted to each other. This is what it means by like attracts like to itself. Each of us today, all of us know that we have felt peaceful before, just in small amounts, and it felt so good that we're all trying to like recreate those moments of when we felt peaceful, when we felt like, yeah, I'm alive. I feel good. Then it goes away. But you don't forget it. So that's why we're together today. We're helping each other to remember that we all have very good character inside of us. But the world in general right now is not focusing on good character. So we have to be very, very careful to make sure that we protect our character. You never want anybody to be able to steal your peace by their words, by their thoughts, by their actions, because it can happen where other people can just steal our peace by what they say. Now we're off on a tangent of anger, or even a tangent of hate. It's very important that we ask ourselves who we really are and what we really want to think, and stand true to our own self so that nobody can ever take our character away. Because other people really can't take it away, but they can say things that are so negative that it tries us. So you and I, we have to be guardians of our character. We have to be guardians of our character. We're not just being guardians of our bodies. How much do you weigh? What's your blood pressure? What's your cholesterol numbers? What's this? All of that is about the health of your body. But the way that each of us think, the way that each of us are, also affects our bodies. So maybe we don't have just naturally high blood pressure, but we do have high blood pressure when we raise our emotions. You see, our heart can really race if we get scared. Our body receives the vibration of our thoughts. So everybody's body is in sync with our thoughts. It's really complex. It sounds like I'm just saying, if you think this, this will happen. No. These bodies also, your mind, let me go back here a moment. The thoughts that you're thinking in this lifetime didn't originate in this lifetime. It's just like if this is a seed, I always tell you about a seed. What's in this seed has the potentiality of being born in this lifetime. So we already came in with a particular kind of character, different tendencies, different ways of viewing the world, of speaking, of seeing, what kind of different things that we've like and don't like. We've had all kinds of experiences before. We've all been born and we've all died and we've been born again. That's a lot of trauma and excellence too. It's a lot. We are mixtures that of so much more than we realize. Don't put yourself down. It's miraculous that we live on a planet, in a solar system, in a galaxy. And if you've ever taken astronomy class, they'll give you the facts, but ponder on it. What? The universe is bigger than we can comprehend? And that is also God. The idea of God is bigger than any of our minds can comprehend. So when you get the facts, well, the sun has got this temperature going on and it's got this and it's got this. The sun is so much more than that. It's a living being. God, here's the facts. Oh, are there facts about God? Because we all disagree. Well, that should tell you something right there. God cannot be put into a definition. But if you practice love through your thoughts, your words, and your actions, it will improve your character and it will improve your joy. You won't feel so neglected or unseen or those kinds of things. Because when we start to feel like that, I'm telling you, it starts to make us feel resentful. And as we feel resentful, then we start feeling like we have a right to be angry with other people. It's an odd little slippery slope that we can slip down on, I should say, I suppose. But by remembering that we've always been spirits, we've always been made of light. And when we look out into the universe at night, what do you see? Light, pinpoints of light, because we're all made of the same stuff. And I love this word I'm going to say to you, and it's a science word, but it's one of my favorite words. We are all made of star stuff. We shine. That's why we have an aura. And when we drop these bodies, that's what we're made out of, shining light. And inside of light, light has intelligence. So when you look out from our planet, all you see are pinpricks of light, because those are all living beings. They're made of light, and we live amongst them. Yeah, everything has light. And those dark spaces that you see in space, they have light that we don't have the ability to see. There's lots of dimensions in all that darkness, and there's light in there. Light is everywhere. And the more that we focus on light, that we are made of light, that we perceive things in light. We have artificial light. How am I seeing you today? Through light. That's how you see me, through light. Everything is made of light. Everything, every image on our phone is light. It's light, intelligence and light. So as we take care of ourselves and we build our character and we're more true to what we're saying, our light gets bigger. So a person who is practicing authenticity, really wanting to be everything that they are really feeling that they want to be, really practicing it, they will become a being that carries more light. And as we carry more light, we have more intelligence. So there are people that live on this planet that perhaps are not very famous, but their light is so big that it affects all of us. Yeah. So, on an extreme level, the sun's light is so big, it gives life a place to live on this planet. Without the sun, no. Even though the earth has her own light, she is made up of light. The center of her, what is in the center of our earth? This incredible fire that is all light. So from the middle of her out is all light. We've all seen the pictures from the moon of the earth. She's brilliantly lit up. And her inhabitants are also made of light. We are all made of light. It's important to know that, because when we think we're just a bag of facts, here's the facts, they could be corrupted. But when you see yourself as light, it's different. Suddenly there's something there that you want to be responsible about. You don't want to be in a situation where someone is really having a lot of dark thoughts, because what can happen is your light can grow dim. Very dim. And when there are people who are living in our world, living on this planet, who have a lot to say, but it's not about love, they have the power to dim light. When we speak about violence, when we speak about hatred, when we speak about wanting to hurt somebody because they made a mistake, whatever that is, our light diminishes. Now, the beautiful thing about light is that it doesn't go out. Even when you die, your light doesn't go out. You leave your body, but you're still made of light. You still exist. And do you know what else exists? Every thought you ever had. It's not in your body. Thoughts are not in your body. They're not in your brain. The brain processes your thoughts into your body. But the thoughts that you have do not go away when you leave your body. It's all tucked in there like a seed. It's a record of everything that you've ever said, thought, or done. It's still with you. But it's sort of like you get put back into the soil. So we don't see the seeds when they first go into the soil. We don't see one another when we're out of this body and we're in what's called darkness. It's like the soil, another dimension perhaps. But then we return and we grow and we come from that soil once again. And we start where we left off. And nobody's been punished. And nobody's been rewarded. How you think, how you have been thinking for a long time still is with you. And those thoughts can elevate. If you want peace, well, you start doing this. I am peace. I am peace. And today I am committed to being more peaceful than I was yesterday. The more that you realize what you say after the words I am or I'm, you will become brighter, which means that you live in a place to where you can see light in others too, instead of just thinking the world is full of crap. If we all get into that space where we all think that, we have no option but to be crap. Period. Seriously. We can only become what our thoughts are. So this is why I put so much emphasis on the word practice. And you're going to hear me say it hundreds of times. Practice, 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 practice. And not practice until you become perfect. It's just practice for the sake of practicing. Because you value your character. So you practice character, being better from deep inside of you, being better inside of your soul, wanting goodness for others, feeling where you're starting to feel a little envious because somebody got an opportunity that you didn't. It happens when we feel envious. It happens. Somebody else got something. I didn't get it. I feel envious. Okay, what are we going to do? Instead of going, oh, I don't know why they got it and I didn't, because that's going to be right there. But what you want to do is you want to not curse the success of the other person, but help yourself in that moment to know, okay, that one wasn't mine. That's all right. That one wasn't for me. I'm going to keep practicing. And practicing. Don't let situations take your joy. So, regardless who the president is, because we've had lots of different presidents in my lifetime anyway, because I've lived a long time. So, I don't look at whoever's the president is going to make me happy or make me sad or make me angry. I usually am a little stunned by things I hear. I'm like, wait, what? What's happening? Mm-hmm. But I am committed to my own self. It doesn't matter to me about what they're doing in the sense of I am not going to give up my practice. I tell you this because I see people being very angry right now. I'm sure you see it too. I'm sure we've all felt it too. I'm not talking about the person who's actually the president. I'm just saying that that's a focal point, but we need to be very careful about making it a focal point when our true quest as friends, as a group, as how we are. We must be very careful not to let any one person have the ability or the strength to take our peace from us as individuals. So when people ask you, aren't you pissed off? They're going to really experience that when you say no. It doesn't mean you don't object to what's being done. It just means you're not going to give up all those practices that you've had with yourself and coming together with yourself, meditating, working on your peace. You're not going to give that up. No, because the more that we come into dark times, we need everybody to stand strong in love and in peace. Those virtues, you can give them away, but nobody can take them from us. Once you practice them and they get strong, nobody can take them from you. But you can give them away and not bother with them anymore. But it will hurt you. It'll cause more pain. Massive amounts of anger cause a lot of pain. And how do we get through that? We stay true to our practice. We stay true to the practice of love, of peace. We stay true to that. And when people tell you that that's not enough, that you have to start getting mad and you have to hurting other people, know that they don't know any other way. That's all. You know that when people get corrupted by this and they want to hurt other people like that, it just means they forgot the power of love. They think love is an emotion. What can that do? Nothing. But love is power. And it brought each of us into being because love is light. Light is love. And darkness is darkness. It's the absence of light. But it doesn't mean the light is gone. It just means there's a cloak over the light. And when you pull the cloak off, it's like a magic trick. Voila, the light never went away. The light in you will not go away because you die. You're still a soul. This has got to be more precious, that we're made of light. And that light grows as we think about love, the power of love. I saw a documentary about this wonderful chef. What is his name? The Spanish man? What is it?
Jose Andres.
Jose Andres. Oh my goodness. Talk about light. He's a chef. You probably thought I was going to like bring in the Pope or somebody. I don't know. He's this wonderful chef. And his heart is so big. He just wants to feed everybody. Just wants to feed everybody. Make sure everybody's taken care of. That everybody's cosmic divine grandmother. He embodies that. He is like a grandmother, you know, the way that he wants to go places where there's disasters and to feed people. He is saying, you guys are so angry you have to make war. Well, I'm not giving into that. You're not stealing that from me. I'm a grandmother. I'm showing up with food because these people are hurting. They need food and I'm going to be there. You can't make me hate. That is character. Yep.
His program is World Central Kitchen, right?
I don't know. World Central Kitchen. I'm getting all these little ideas here. Oh, yes, we got a thumbs up. World Central Kitchen. He's lovely. And you know, he's only one. There's lots and lots of people that are like us. That want to live in love, the strength of love, the purity of love, and be able to go, okay, all these people got all this hate going on around them, but these people are hungry. And if they don't eat pretty soon, this is fairly bad. So we have to like not hate the haters there right now. We just have to learn to love everybody in that moment and go, hey, haters, step aside for a second. We've got to feed these tummies here. We can do this. You can do this. I can do this. We can do it together. Never, ever give up your practice of having character. And when you see yourself slip up, you just tell yourself, yep, I lost it there, baby. Yep. Thank God there's tomorrow. Because you can turn it around. But if you live in reward and punishment, it's much more difficult. Much more difficult. I'm just encouraging you to observe in yourself how deeply this concept of reward, punishment is ingrained in us. And forget it. Be who you naturally are, which you are strong and kind. You are a person that is made of light, which means you embody love. And we're here for a short time in each incarnation. And do we really want it to just be an observer in a big stadium, so to speak, the big stadium of life, watching people and just criticizing them? Oh yeah, that was a bad move. Oh yeah, and that was really a bad move. Do we want to just stay on the sidelines and criticize? Or do we want to jump in there and practice love? So people, you might be thinking, well, I can't do what Jose Andres does. Well, that position's already taken by him. You have your own position to take charge of. What can you do? You can practice love. You can practice with your family. You can practice with your neighbors, with your coworkers. You can practice with your animals, with your neighbors' animals. You see where I'm going? This is about you being who you are wherever you are and being the best part of you, not just a bunch of facts. Oh, yeah, this is my neighbor and she lives at such and such, and this is what she does, and this is the car she drives. Okay, you know a bundle of facts. See what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you know anything, it doesn't mean I know anything. But when we live intuitively, everything changes. Those times that I was in the ashram in India taught me so much about love first, love second, love last. Love is not wimpy. You have to be strong to want it. And you want it, or we wouldn't be talking about it. You are strong. We're all stronger than we think we are because we're still growing into who we are. Children have no idea what they're going to be like as adults. We don't know how we're going to be when we become enlightened. We're still children. Just because I have an older body doesn't mean suddenly my spirit is a lot older. I mean, our spirit is forever. So I'm saying this so that you can remember to change. Change the quality of your thoughts. Change the quality of how you speak. Don't let yourself get so drained, because when there's this much hate in the world as there is right now, it drains us, makes us tired, makes us overwhelmed. It made me so overwhelmed just a little while ago. When was that? 3 weeks ago? Yeah, I didn't see it coming really this time. Uh, Doing what I do because I listen to people in a deep personal way. And I have all my ways of how I keep myself clean inside with the energies. But recently I had a bout of, in my family, we call it psychic sickness. Don't know what else to call it, really. um, and I had it. I had it again. I hadn't had it in maybe 2 or 3 years. And it came kind of as a surprise. Uh, but you see, the conditions in the world are so much worse. I wasn't thinking about that. My practice needs to be just a little bit bigger than what it was before. Just a little bit bigger. So that way my energy isn't compromised. Now, I used myself as an example, but I could have been talking about any of you. Chances are very, very good that your energy has been compromised also. So we have to come from our character, and we have to help ourselves not to join in the planet and decide that everybody else is bad. We have to come to this place where we have to understand that we're not all on the same page, but we're in the same book. And you know how books are. The characters go through hell and back until that last page. So what I'm trying to say to you is be authentic. And what I mean by that is your authentic self is that you're fighting to stay clean inside for love to grow. So how are we going to battle? We're going to battle through love. That's right. So we're using Mr. Jose Andres today as our example to feel love through service. Love through service. In the smallest or the biggest way. Be an individual. Do how you want to do it. You see how I'm really careful not to try to tell you this is how you do it? It's up to you. So what we want to do is keep the feeling of character very, very close in our heart. It's deeper than just the facts. It is an intuitive way of having an inner inspection, you know? It's like it's introspection is like it's an inspection, like where the house gets inspected for termites because it's eating the wood and could hurt the house. So what we're doing by being introspective is that we're giving ourselves an inspection to make sure that we don't have any termites eating at our character, right? And remember that being calm and practicing breathing, practicing being still will change you. Practice. It's not like a real gorgeous word, is it? Practice, practice. But I love it because practice is conscious change. You've made a decision and now you're following through on your decision to practice inner strength. So much so that you don't have to be pulled down into the anger to be doing something. You don't have to be motivated by anger to want to send a prayer of love to somebody who's hungry. And you think it's so overwhelming, I don't even want to watch the news. Well, don't watch it. You're still aware that the world is in a terrible place right now. And there's always good in the world. Always, 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 always. So be it. All of us, each of us. I haven't ever used the word enlightened for our word, but that is going to be our word. Hmm? Ah, Ruby says, what about gratitude? No, Gratitude's in there. I thought about this last night. I thought, yeah, no, enlightenment. Enlightenment isn't a virtue in and of itself. Gratitude, like she was saying, it's one we always have for November. But I'm not saying don't use gratitude. I use it in sort of I always use gratitude for November because everybody's already using Thanksgiving. Thanks, 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 thanks. Let's have a prayer about what we're all grateful for. You know, are you grateful for this? I love that. So I jump on the tail of that so that, it's like, okay, everybody's already thinking this, let's do gratitude. So I do want to still encourage you to do gratitude, but know that you will become enlightened by it. So enlightened, I'm not talking about you'll become enlightened like suddenly you become a master. Or suddenly I'll become a master. Yeah, right. What I was saying to you about it is I'm wanting you to really like give yourself this permission over this next month to feel yourself as light and feel yourself as emanating light. And know that we fill up rooms with our light. We do. And when you get too many people in a room, how hot it gets? That's light. That's light. It burns. It warms. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So you can go someplace and you feel like, oh, this place doesn't feel so warm. Practice sending your light out from you. Practice sending. When I was in my 20s, I used to make balls of light like this. You know how you can go like this, and until you can feel that light. The tension between your hands when you do this. So when you can really feel it, you can rub your hands together like this. Shoot it out. Have fun with it. What I just showed you was about fun. Did you catch it? Seriously, have fun with it. Shoot it out. You can say prayer and then shoot it out. Shoot it out. Be who you are. We don't always have to be like exactly like this. It can be like, okay, and blessings for all. Put it out there in your own way. But know that everything that you think is going out from you anyway. It's already happening. It's just that now you're doing it consciously. You're doing it consciously. You're thinking consciously about sending peace to everyone through the air. Right? Right? So, usually, what is our saboteur of gratitude for November is resentment. Because gratitude makes us remember the good, and resentment makes us remember the bad. So, we're keeping resentment. But what you're going to do is practice gratitude through enlightenment, which means being aware of sending the light, sending the light. Let me tell you, there are people who are devoted to not sending light, very devoted to thinking their opinions and getting their opinions out there. It's a type of light, but it's not the type of light that love will grow in. It's energy, but it's not this kind of light that I'm talking about. So we're not messing with what they're doing. We're just sending our light, knowing that it will overpower any sort of darkness. So what we do is as you're practicing light, you're practicing feeling illumined, practicing light moving from you like this. You see, it's like the light meditation. You can practice the light meditation when you do this. That's on our website, right? The what light? Yeah, it's on our website, the light meditation. So as you're doing that and you're practicing putting it out like that, we all benefit. We all benefit. And things like saying peace, peace, peace to all. May all the beings and all the worlds be happy. You can change it and say, may all the beings and all the worlds be well fed. Be well fed with food and love. Make it your own. It's a prayer. It's your character. It's your essence, it's your wish for all of us, for all of us. So enlightenment and resentment. And remember that resentment, the way that I look at it, is it's a place where we feel like we've been invisible and now we're a little hurt and angry about it. It's when we feel invisible and we suffer from pain from it. But you see, you had you all along. And do you know how many people I could say that to? And they'd be like, why do you say that? No, I really am hurting. Yes. And some people don't know how to come to their own rescue. And you need to know that. So by you sending out that light, at least a chunk of light has the opportunity to touch them, and maybe they'll remember that they do know how. They do know how. So we do have our winter solstice happening on the 20th of December. We'd love to have you there. And there's a little flyer that'll still be coming out about it. But the winter solstice is all about light, enlightenment, and all the things that we could put out into the world. We'd love to have you there. So remember enlightenment, but you can still have gratitude in there since it's been the word of November for, I don't know, decades. So it's still there, but just the practice of light, the practice of light. So I'm just going to ask you to kindly join with me in shh, like inside of all the stuff that goes on. And let's do 3 ohms together. Om. 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 May peace be with you and all of your loved ones, and may peace be with all those that feel unloved. Thank you for being here. Peace be with you. Om Shri Sai Ram.